Thank you, ma'am, for allowing me to speak on this important amendments. Ma'am, I represent Telugu Desam Party. On behalf of Telugu Desam Party, I'm standing here. A party which is a regional party from Andhra Pradesh, which has substantial amount of members in this house as well as in Rajya Sabha. On behalf of Telugu Desam Party, I stand here in support of both women reservation. On behalf of Telugu Desam Party, I stand in support of delimitation also. And as just Mahoji has posed, a lot of people are posing a lot of questions to us. Of course, this is democracy. A lot of people will pose and we have to answer. As a regional party, that too coming from South India, the first question is, as you're coming from South India, are you going to support this? Second question is, will TDP support delimitation as well as women's reservation if the seats are 543 or 815? Whether TDP had considered about losing its representation with increase in seats? These are the questions. And fourth question was, why TDP is not asking for 2011 census or latest census? And fifth question is, does delimitation be fair? Wouldn't it be gerrymandering? These are the questions that people are posing it. Members inside the house and media outside are posing this to Telugu Desam Party, and it's our duty to answer these questions. And it is our duty to put it on record also in this house. Ma'am, Telugu Desam Party is in support of Women's Reservation Bill because we believe in what Ambedkar said. What Ambedkar said was, a constitution is a vehicle of life guided by the spirit of the age. Ma'am, from yesterday onwards, we could see a lot of women coming and sitting in the gallery in the anticipation. Thank you, Dada. Thank you, Dada. So they came in anticipation, inside the house and outside the house, the women sitting with anticipation that their representation will increase in the parliament, in the assembly also. Because until now, the policies are made for them also, even for women, are made mainly by men. And the time has come for women to actually raise their voice, to actually make the policies for themselves. And this is the spirit with which we are supporting this women's reservation, ma'am. And I said, this is the spirit of the age that people are asking for this, that women folk, which has 50% population in this country, is asking for this. So we need to understand why they are mooting for this, and they're fighting for this for so many years. And time has come, under the leadership of Narendra Modi ji, that this important amendments has been brought forward, and we need to support this, ma'am. Ma'am, the other thing we should also accept is the change is constant. It is never, it is never going to be same all throughout. With the times, there will be changes that will happen. Even with our constitution also, there are multiple amendments that are brought in. After almost 77 years, we are discussing about the 131st amendment. Because we believe that Indian democracy is vibrant. Our constitution is a living thing. And Ambedkar also mentioned that. So there are a lot of amendments that are brought in. That is the reason why Indian democracy is thriving. When you compare countries around us, Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, ma'am, if you see all of them, how many coups have happened in that countries? How many armed revolutions have happened? How many times the constitution itself has collapsed? Why it didn't happen in India except for those 3-4 years during the emergency? Why democracy has thrived in India was because we believed change is constant. We believed what Ambedkar ji has mentioned. So this is a time we should respect that, and this is what women folk of India are asking for. This is the change they are looking for. So we need to support this. I'm requesting the opposition parties also, please see through it and support this. And the second question that everyone is asking is, would you support it even if it is 543 seats, or will you support it only if it is 815 seats? Ma'am, let me remind this House, when we talk about women on behalf of Telugu Desam Party, we don't talk about women as a voting issue, but we actually look at it much more deeply. We look at it in a way that we need to empower them socially. We look at it in a way we have to empower them economically. We need to empower them politically also. That is the ethos that our founder, N.T. Ramarao Garu, has believed in. Ma'am, he was a man of different ideas. At that time, all the political leaders expected people to come to them. But he was the leader who could go to the people. He traversed thousands of kilometers in Andhra Pradesh during his first election campaign. He could see what troubles women are going through at the rural areas. So when he came to power, when he became the chief minister in 1983, he came up with very revolutionary ideas. Until then, the property that is belonging to a member in the father is always going to the male in the family. But he has brought in the reform in the Hindu Succession Act in 1986. He made sure 50% of the property belongs to the girl child also. And he also brought in women reservation to 30% in government jobs. On top of that, he has seen what will happen when the government schemes are actually delivered to the women. So what he has done was, when he has to give housing to the poor, he made sure that site is actually registered on the name of the woman in the family rather than male in the family. So he fought for their economic stability, fought for their social mobility, ma'am. So this is what we believed in. This is the ethos that our founder, N.T. Ramarao Garu, believed in, ma'am. Not only that, he saw there's only 25% of the literacy with the women at that time. So he came up with various initiatives, started a lot of schools mainly for the girl children. He also started a women's university in Sri Padmavati University in Tirupati, specifically targeting women so that they can get educated, their literacy can go up, ma'am. This is what N.T. Ramarao Garu has done, and after that, Chandrababu Naidu Garu has followed the suit, and he has taken it to the next level. He has launched Dwakra program, what the SHE program that we talk about, Lakpati Didis that we talk about now. He has launched it in 1999. He has made sure that women are not just depending on the male in the family, but actually economically they can also have ideas, they can also come up with the business ideas, and they can also support the family. That is the idea with which he has launched the Dwakra program. And also he has given 33% reservation for women in local body elections. Ma'am, I have almost 14-15 minutes, ma'am. So, and on top of that, Deepam LPG cylinder scheme was launched in 1999, mainly for the women folks, so that they can have that economic stability for them, ma'am. Ma'am, this is being continuous. Even now, the main programs that are schemes that have been given to any family in the Andhra Pradesh are targeting the women in Andhra Pradesh, ma'am, with Sri Shakti, Talliku Vandanam, and Deepam 2.0. Ma'am, because we believed in the empowerment of women, this is what from the founder of the party to now the chief minister, this is what they believed in. So if it is 543 seats or 815 seats, Telugu Desam Party is in support of women's reservation in the women's reservation bill. And the third question that everyone is asking is, wouldn't you lose out on representation with increase in the seats? This is the question that everyone is asking, and media people are also playing it in a very different role. Ma'am, yesterday Home Minister has clarified in the House itself that with 50% increase for every state, Andhra Pradesh right now has 4.6% representation in the parliament. With that increase, the actual representation in the parliament for Andhra Pradesh with regards to the MPs will go by 4.66%. So we won't be losing on that. But I want to remind this House, a lot of opposition parties are asking for 1971 census to be used as a mother data. Ma'am, right now, when you're increasing the seats by 50%, on what basis that is being happening? The freeze happened in 1971. On that freeze, the 50% of seats are being increased right now. So whatever opposition is asking for is actually happening, but they're not able to see through. They just want to be, they just want to oppose it, politically oppose it anyhow, but they're not seeing the logic through it. Ma'am, in the DMK has called for they called for the meeting, and I think various other parties also has attended that, ma'am. On March 25th, 2025, DMK passed a 7-point resolution demanding a 25-year extension of 1971 freeze, effectively asking to keep India's representation tied to that number, ma'am. In this JAC, CPM participated, BRS participated, AAP participated, Congress participated, and TMC participated. They asked for the freeze. Right now, on that freeze only, that 50% is being increased. So I don't know why opposition is not able to accept that. There's nothing new that is being happening on the 1970 population freeze, where 543 seats have been allocated. On top of that, 50% has been increasing, and yesterday Home Minister has clearly clarified. And even then, if you can't accept the truth of what is happening, even then, if you want to give out the fake narrative, false narrative, saying South India's number will go down, South India's representation will go down, I hope and I request the opposition to actually come to census and actually accept what the delimitation means and support the delimitation process in total. Ma'am, the fourth question that everyone is asking at, why not 2011 census or the latest census? I'll give you the example of Andhra Pradesh, ma'am. Ma'am, in Andhra Pradesh is a very special example because no one has gone through that. When the last delimitation happened in Andhra Pradesh, what happened was we were Andhra and Telangana were together. But when the delimitation happened, there were 3 parliament segments that have come up in Telangana and 3 we lost in Andhra Pradesh. But in total, we lost 1 parliament segment to Telangana. Even there were 7 MLA seats that were increased in Telangana region, and Andhra Pradesh was lost 7 assembly seats. Reason being, there's no politics here, but the reason being that population migration happened to Telangana at that time, ma'am. So if you go by that logic of using the latest census of 2026, ma'am, if you've seen the data, Andhra Pradesh fertility rate has been going on for almost one and a half decade. Our migration has been increasing for the last 2 decades. So if you go by the latest census or by the 2011 census also, we'll be losing out. The best deal for us is what Home Minister has proposed yesterday, wherein we are not losing it. Actually, we are increasing by 0.6%. So that is the reason why TDP is supporting this, ma'am. And the last question that everyone is asking is, does delimitation be fair? Wouldn't it be gerrymandering? Example, yesterday, even K.C. Venugopalji has spoken about it. Ma'am, I'll give the example of what happened in Andhra Pradesh when 2009 delimitations happened. Kuppam constituency, which is in Chittoor, our CM's constituency. It is in Chittoor parliamentary constituency. So at that time, Congress, which was in power, did the gerrymandering to make sure that the CM constituency is a target in such a way that no leader can come out of that. But and they reserved the seat to the SC candidate at that time. That is what they have done in 2009. That is the actual gerrymandering. But what happened, ma'am? People saw through it. If you are smart, people are even smarter. From 2009 onwards, in 2009, after doing all this gerrymandering also, TDP has won. In 2014, same seat, even TDP has won. In 2024, again TDP has won that seat, ma'am. In 4 elections, after doing all this exercise, all this gerrymandering, even then 3 times the TDP has won. Even in my district, ma'am. Even in my district. What is gerrymandering? Making sure that, as a senior member was asking, making sure that
a term from Illinois.
Gerrymandering was Illinois wherein Senator. You bring in all the voters in such a way that you will get advantage for the party in the ruling rather than party in the opposition. That is what the gerrymandering actually is. Even in my district in Guntur, ma'am, they did the same exercise. Tadikonda constituency, where they thought one cadre or one community was supporting in support of Telugu Desam party, we should corner them, so they made it a reserved seat. Even Pratipadu constituency, they did it, but People saw through it, ma'am.
People want to vote. They vote.
People are smarter. They can't be fooled like how opposition is expecting. When the Congress was in power, they tried to fool the people.
Yes, they did.
They tried to fool the people by doing this. Because right now they're raising this issue of delimitation because they know what thievery they have done in 2009 delimitation. That's why they think that can happen. Yesterday I've heard what Home Minister has mentioned. Based on that, yesterday Home Minister has mentioned, yesterday Prime Minister has mentioned, promised us, they gave a guarantee in the House. Based on that, we are supporting this bill. We are supporting women's reservation. We are supporting delimitation. Telugu Desam Party is supporting women's reservation and delimitation, ma'am. Thank you very much.